everybody. Welcome back to episode 2 of From Zero, where we are building a 6-figure media agency over the course of 6 months and then turning that into a 7-figure media agency in the course of 1 year. Obviously, in the last episode, we made the crucial choice to start building this business. And so before we can do anything else, obviously, we need to start cold calling. And what they don't tell you about cold calling is how do you actually find people to call. So today's mission is pretty simple. We're going to build out our CRM, which is just our customer relation management tool pretty much. And it's basically a way we keep track of all of our leads and how we carry them into the funnel to eventually make them a client. So basically, the first thing we want to do is find 25 businesses that we can eventually call and hopefully turn into clients. The way we're going to do that is we're going to start with handy dandy Google. So I'm going to share my screen here and then we'll kind of get started on how I initially find people to cold call. I'm sure some people do it differently. Maybe some people do it the same. I'm pretty sure this is kind of just like the standard. So this is pretty much how you start. So I'm sharing my screen now, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up Google. When I first started, I thought every business could always just be a potential client, and that's really not the case. You're going to really look for businesses that are already trying to grow, businesses that care about their brand, they're active, and they're obviously investing in themselves, or they have the potential to invest in themselves and they don't really know where to start. Basically with that, you can kind of put together something that says if you're the right fit for them and they're the right fit for you and kind of go from there. The first thing we want to do is we're going to find a potential business and we want to pick an area that we are kind of familiar with. So I'm going to do Fort Lauderdale. I actually already made a giant list of businesses in Miami. So the first thing I'm going to start with is Fort Lauderdale coffee shops. All right, so now we're just going to go through this list. We're going to pick out one that kind of makes sense to us. Okay, so I feel like the ones at the top already have probably decent SEO. They're probably putting, some type of budget into what they got going on. So we're going to kind of go in the middle here. We're going to just kind of start with the coffee culture and see what's up with them. They're closed right now. They're open from 7:30 to 3 on Mondays and then blah, 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 blah. Let's check out some of their reviews. They get amazing reviews. Okay, let's see. Let's kind of see what this looks like. That's cool. All right, let's go back here. So obviously they're getting a ton of reviews a month ago, 3 months ago, 9 months ago, whatever. So they're obviously pretty active. Let's see what the lowest say. Poor customer service. This was a month ago. I went in there and then blah, blah, blah. So they don't really have too many negative reviews. They do have some, but a lot of these are actually pretty old. And there's not many at all. So I gotta at least believe that they are a pretty good business and that they are trying their best. So now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go to their website. So now, once we're on their website, we can kind of just take a look and see if we can learn a little bit more about them. Obviously, this is all their menu. Blah, 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 blah. And obviously, we're just kind of speed running. This could be something to look at later. Media marketing. They did their branding and design. So I don't think they're doing any other content. I guess they designed their website logo and all that other stuff. So I don't think they're working with anybody currently. Let's check out some of their tabs. But again, we're kind of speed running this just because I don't want to make this video too long. But really do your due diligence when you're finding out all of these potential leads to put in your CRM. They have art for sale, it looks like, or activities. So this is a paint and coffee, which I guess is similar to a paint and sip, which is pretty cool. Event registration. They have salsa classes. That's cool. This is dope. It doesn't really give me more info about it, but so I don't know how this exactly works. But they do, I guess, have a ton of events. I guess they also do some like textile art. This is cool. You can also buy art directly from their website, it seems. So this is also dope. So they're really into like the arts and craft style like coffee shop, not like the mainstream typical coffee shops like the Starbucks and everything. Let's see what else they got going on here. Okay, so I guess they have a blog, but they don't use it because this is from 2025. And then they have a team page, so I guess you can meet the team. No, so I guess this is for them to log into. All right, so that's cool. They have a Facebook. You can email them, WhatsApp, whatever. Let's check out their Instagram. All right, so ignore that for today. They won't let me log in, but I actually already have Instagram open. So we are going to go into Instagram. We're going to go into Instagram now, and it's called and it came right up. Okay, awesome. So this is their Instagram. They have 1,500 followers. They have about 700 people that they're following. Let's see the last time they posted. This was 5 days ago. This says it was a reel, but it is not a reel. Okay, so it has no sound, but they posted it as a reel, it looks like. It got 4 likes and it got 1 comment. This is July 3rd. This is just a picture. It's mango season. This is a video of, oh my gosh, okay. This is super sped up and crazy, but all right, bet. And then whatever. Okay, so obviously you can see here that they're posting on Instagram quite a bit. They are advertising their events and things like that. However, just the overall quality and the way that they're trying to position themselves is just, I see what they're trying to do, but I think they could do it a lot better. But the point is they're doing something, you know what I'm saying? So I think that there actually is a lot of room to potentially work with them. So we're actually going to reach out to them. I'll probably give them a call in the morning, or I'll DM them tonight, and hopefully we can, we'll see what we can do. Maybe they'll reach out to us, or they'll respond. Maybe they'll respond back to us. But yeah, so basically after you have a potential business that you want to work with, once you kind of do the Google search, the website search, the Instagram search, the next thing that I typically do is I go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to then copy the link to their website, and then I'm going to copy their Instagram profile. And I'm just going to type in something preliminary. Again, we're not doing like a super deep dive. We're kind of just getting some preliminary information so that when we do approach them and we try and have this initial conversation, we have some type of idea that we want to present to them, and we don't really minimize what they've been doing, but we just tell them that we can potentially maximize everything that they're doing in a way that will bring them more business, that they're doing everything right, that we can just help them expand upon that, a lot more. So we're going to say, hey, I found this coffee shop in Fort Lauderdale. I just launched my creative media agency centered around bringing in leads and attention to small businesses through videography, photography, All right, so let's see what chat says after we kind of do all that. So this is a blah, blah, blah. That means you want to be already good brand. So industry knowledge, especially coffee industry, not just coffee shop businesses, markets, their buying experience, aesthetics, community. This all makes sense based on what we saw on the website. All right, so then, okay, so obviously we can see that they're giving us some preliminary information based on what we saw on the website and on the Instagram. This all does make sense so far. Yeah, this is all cool. Let's see, actually good menu. They should use their blog a lot more, and they should advertise their events a little bit more, obviously. So this is cool. This is cool. They're already investing in SEO. They did pop up when we searched coffee shops in Fort Lauderdale, so they are actually doing something already. So that is super important. Okay. All right, so this is all making a lot of sense. So basically what you can do from here is you can take all of this information and you can just ask ChatGPT to turn it into a pitch and then tailor it towards your own voice. You know what I'm saying? You don't really kind of want to memorize this or try and read it verbatim when you call and or go in person. You kind of want to make sure that you tailor it a little bit towards how you would actually talk to people. And remember at the end of the day that if you want to work with them, make sure that you actually in some capacity really do care about the work that you're trying to do and that the businesses that you want to work with. Because I think that once you come off as an authentic person, the things that you're saying come off a lot more naturally and it just tends to make a lot of sense. Let's see what else. So basically, yeah, just go in a chat from there and ask them to kind of put together something that you could say to them. As far as scripts go, we'll kind of get into that in the next video once we come up with the whole cold calling thing. You'll kind of see how I go about it. There's a couple of different ways. And yeah, so that's pretty much how I would do it if I was trying to find a business from scratch. This is business number 1. I would do this 24 more times until I have 25, and I would call all 25 of them tomorrow, or I would do a little bit of a mix and match. I would do 5 cold calls, 5 emails, 10 DMs, whatever, or 5 I would go into in person and see what I could do, whatever. Just try and mix it up, or you can stick to one thing if you find out that it's working, and you'll get better as you go. But in the beginning, you want to make sure that you have 25 businesses that you think would be a good fit for you, and they would be a good fit for you, and you would be a good fit for them. And then go from there. The next thing I'll show you about another way that you could potentially find a business. It's a little bit different. What you're going to do is that you're going to go to Indeed. This one's pretty hit or miss. So what you can do is you can go to Indeed and you can type in videography. You can kind of do the same thing on LinkedIn or wherever, ZipRecruiter or whatever. What kind of, is that going to make me log in? Because I don't want to. All right, so it looks like they're going to make me log in, and I don't really want to log in. That's pretty annoying. Yeah, all right, so whatever. So we'll just go back to full screen super quick. The last thing I was going to say is I was going to try and show you Indeed and other, job posting websites. The thing about that is they are typically looking for somebody very specific. They want somebody to come on as their actual full-time employee that's going to be there 5 days a week and can work 8 hours a day. Obviously, that's not the case for us. However, I think that it could be a good starting point if you don't really want to go the Google route into finding all of these places and trying to cold call. The Indeed route, again, it's super hit or miss, but the leads are a little bit warmer because you know for a fact that they're looking for somebody. They already have the job description, so you know exactly what to say to them and how to position yourself. The only thing that you would have to switch is that you don't want to come on as an employee. You would want to come on as, a freelancer or just through your agency or whatever, which I think could be really good because sometimes businesses don't all the way know what they're looking for. They just know that they need somebody. So I think that Indeed and these other places could be a good place to start in terms of just like emailing or calling or reaching out because, again, you know that they are looking for somebody and that they want somebody to come in and help them. A lot of people sometimes position themselves in a way where they do a free video just to start the conversation and they try and close you and they go from this, free to fee method, which I think is a pretty good route. So I think that's a good way to get started as well. I think that's the method that we're going to try and use in the beginning. So we'll probably see a little bit of that tomorrow, but I don't want to make this video any longer than it already is. So today was not about cold calling at all. It is all about finding those clients that we can call for tomorrow, and then we will start there. And then the next week, we will go to all these businesses that we called and see if we can hopefully land a client. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you in today's video. I hope that it makes a lot of sense, and I hope that it pushes you to go and do something different today. And I will see you guys in the next video where we cold call and then hopefully we land some shoots where we can get a client and start this journey to 6 figures. See y'all next time.